Hey everyone, my name is Benita G. Welcome to season 8 of the Education Concierge podcast. You know who I am. I am your host, and season 8, we have gone higher, we have gone global. We have all of the people telling us all the things on how they reimagine education, how they disrupt it, dismantle it. We go from pre-K to higher ed. We do consulting, advising, ed tech, anything in the atmosphere of education. We talk about it here. And we vet our guests, we bring on our guests, and they are top-notch guru, the go-to men and women in the field of education. Today, I have another amazing guest, Dr. Nashett, and I want to make sure I'm pronouncing this right because y'all know how I feel. Way before we started this presidential debate and election season, I always was like, pronounce people's names correctly because somebody thought about that name at least for 9 months, if not longer. We're going to bring her in. We're going to introduce her to the family, and she's going to tell us who she is, introduce herself to us, and talk about how she became in the field of education, but more importantly, how did she become a disruptor, and how does she reimagine education today? Let's bring her in. Woo-woo.
Hey.
How are you?
I am well. How are you?
I am great. So I am a good old country girl from Lawrenceville, Virginia.
Okay.
And Southerners, because people are like, you're not from the South, shut up. The Mason-Dixon line is Maryland. Thank you. Okay, and my dad's from Georgia, so I'm a Southerner. And in the country, I'll say I'm a country girl. In the country, we invite our guests over. When you come over, you wash your hands in the sink because you're not to wash your hands in the kitchen. And we fix you a plate. Okay, you know that. We fix you your first plate. You let us know because we have section plates. If you don't want your food touching, we have a plate for that.
Great. I don't like for my food to touch.
Our mom was the same way. So I'm always going to have 2 different types of plates. And we're going to bring you a nice cold glass of iced tea that's sweet. Because unsweetened tea is a blasphemy to us. So,
Absolutely. I just in Chicago and the tea was unsweet. Yes, unsweetened tea.
And why would I sweeten it myself? Because shouldn't Miss Betty be baking it back? I don't understand. And so after today's podcast episode, you are now family.
Thank you.
And the next time you come on, you fix your own plate, but you still gotta wash your hands. Don't wash your hands in my kitchen. Like I still don't understand why people do that. Y'all know better. Your grandmas should have popped you one. But introduce yourself to the TEC family. Tell us who you are, how you got started in education.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I am so delighted to be here. My name is Nashett Garrett, and I am a legacy educator. How I got started, I come from a family of educators. My mom, foremost, being my example of education. She did 40 plus years as a teacher, principal, central office administrator, as well as having aunts who also served as educators and laid the foundation for me, as well as growing up in a community of educators. So my educational background started long before I was ever trained to be one. And so I had the privilege as well as being a teacher, and went on to be an instructional specialist at the building and district level. And also assistant principal, and served as a chief academic officer, superintendent of a K-12 campus, and now serving as an educational consultant in my own companies, as well as an ASCD faculty member. And that's how we had the opportunity to meet.
Yes. Okay. And tell us the names of your companies.
Yes. And so I serve as the CEO as ELLE Education Services, where we empower learners and leaders to excel, as well as EmpowHer Services, where we work with women navigating experiences where they choose joy and access freedom in their careers.
I love it. I love it because everybody knows education is not easy.
It is not easy. It is not easy. And so we specialize in helping leaders in these particular times.
I love that. And so when we say leaders, give me more information about that because I wake up with I'm a leader.
And you are.
Yeah. but we give me and not to put not to worry about any NDAs or anything like that.
Sure.
Give me an example of how your company would come in and reimagine, assist growth. What would that look like, and what do you do?
Well, it can be leaders in different capacities. So not only at the district level, but also with principals and also with communities. So it's really built around a design where we believe that school happens in partnership between families, communities, as well as school buildings. And so, whether you're a principal and you're dealing with capacity issues, whether you are sitting at a district level, a superintendent or assistant superintendent, or maybe an executive director or a director, and you are working with some improvement challenges, or whether you are a community organization and an executive director or working in partnership with a school entity and you are trying to help navigate and close some gaps with some challenges within school, whether it might be helping to navigate absenteeism or homelessness and improve outcomes that way. We help with some data driven solutions to be able to design opportunities and initiatives and follow through with those solutions in order and ideally supporting the whole child and being able to
Ooh,
improve outcomes that way.
that's important, the whole child. So we talk about this. What made you, or what, was there one thing that allowed you to say, I've been in the system this particular way, and now I want to transition and help from the outside in because I've been in the inside. What was that one thing or one event or it doesn't, and when I say that, it doesn't have to be like a traumatic, oh my God. It can be like, you know what, I saw this, I went here, someone spoke this into me, I thought about it. So what was that one thing that said, I've been from teaching all the way up, and
Yeah.
now I'm going to transition from inside to outside.
Um, I think there's one thing, and I think there's all the things, right? So when we are looking at education, and I think education has seen probably its biggest shift within the last, these last 4 years of the pandemic. I think one of the most enlightening and maybe even some of the most disheartening things has been the shifts in narrative that came so quickly through the pandemic when it came to education, our conversations around teachers and leaders, and also a lack of having a full understanding of what these processes and what truly educating students looked like inside and outside of school, right?
Yes.
It took a lot of work and it's taking a lot of work. And honestly, we still haven't seen the full impact, right? We just still have not seen the full impact of what pandemic education has had on our students, on our teams, and
Mm-hmm.
on our communities. We are
Yeah.
still going to still see some shifts throughout this process. And so as I navigated as a school and community leader, as I worked with friends, as I worked with wise counsel throughout this process, you know, and I had some of the best. But one of the things that I know that I didn't need as a school leader was another person walking into the space and saying, do this and do that. The best support that I needed, that I received, was when a great friend and a mentor came and said, I got you, and came and stood beside me and got hands on. And that fit in line with exactly where I wanted my consultancy to go.
Okay.
And so I'd been consulting for about 10 years. And I'd had the great privilege to grow my consultancy from becoming a conference speaker to beginning to develop professional development and workshops. And really, after taking about 2 years off from doing any of that to focus on my school community and really feeling the need to really get hands on after being out for 2 years.
Mhm.
And that just really solidified it for me after really experiencing that gratitude and that tug on my heart to get hands on. And so that's when, after really sitting down and processing it all and just really being really thoughtful and consulting with myself and very prayerful, I said, it's really time to take this opportunity to go out here and do this hard work and hard work. And I can tell you, it has been the the most rewarding thing and fulfilling thing that I could have done. And the other part to it, and I had to be very thoughtful and prayerful about this as well, is I became very concerned for sisters in this conversation or in this moment as well. And I say sisters, and I mean that wholeheartedly when we're talking about Black women, because we've seen a lot of women come under attack, but we have not seen. I take that back. We see a full on attack when it comes to Black women, and how we are seeing them being spoken about,
Mhm.
the attacks on their character and their work. Um,
Yes.
and that is one. And I think every woman has to navigate this space for themselves. One of the things that I want to support Black women in understanding is where their choices lie and how they can access freedoms in those spaces. And so that's where the work of Empower Ed works in tandem for Black women, is being able to support them in those spaces.
It is so important. I cannot stress the power of networking,
Yes.
the power of having a collective group of women who are like-minded in whatever profession you're in,
Mm-hmm.
to to be able to support, to say, this is what I'm dealing with. I see you, I acknowledge you. This is what
I
I
see you.
did. Right. This is what I did to help navigate through this. Or I don't know, I'm navigating through it right now. How do we help each other?
Yep.
Um, that is essential. And it's part of reimagining education, because even I was a school teacher, and I was a dean, and I did
Mm-hmm.
engagement. One of the things and we're going to talk about ASCD Ghana in a minute, but one of the things I kept saying at ASCD Ghana when I was there, I was like, we can no longer teach an egg carton.
Teaching handcuffs
In an egg carton.
in
Like,
an egg cart. Absolutely.
I'm in room 102, this is how room 102 does it, and they down there. No. During the pandemic, we all were virtual. Some of us were swimming. I was a swimmer. Some of us were choking and drowning, and the swimmers were like pulling you along. Some
Yeah.
people just got out of the water. They're like, I'm not doing this. Like, so all of this happened during that. And I realized quickly that we had become these little isolated little egg cartons that you can cut and like, you can do that. And you have the upper elementary, and then you have the primary. No, all of us are educators. I
Mm-hmm.
I need what you're doing in first grade. I can adopt that to seventh grade. My seventh grade is like stickers, just as much as they did when they were in kindergarten. That's it. Like I can buy a book of stickers like I did in kindergarten, and buy a book of stickers for my seventh graders. And when they walk in the door, if you put a sticker on their hand or put a sticker on their paper, what? I didn't even know. I was like, the power of the sticker. And
Yep.
just talking to each other, I was like, let me go get these stickers and stop trying to do all of this craziness and spend all this money and get all these Takis and sandwiches. They just want a sticker. And then oh, okay, oh, you did the whole row. Sometimes I was just passing out stickers, being in your seat on time. Thank you, sticker. They're like, can we get a sticky note? Why are they getting sticky notes? They want me to put the sticker on a sticky note so they can prove how many stickers they got in my class that day.
And it works for big kids too. Let me tell you something. The power of the sticker for a high school student too.
I did not know that. So that's why we need to talk to each other. And this
Listen, I used to go to the Dollar Tree for mine.
yes, I still do. But I also tell people it's the power of the sticky note for educators. I still have some of my sticky notes. I have sticky notes from educators who I don't know, but they were touring my classroom. And they saw one little thing like, I love the fact that your kids don't have to raise their hands in your class.
Mhm.
Like, I love the fact that when you did call on a student, you gave them the opportunity to say, I am not ready. Can you come back to me? And I was like, oh, you saw that? Because that's just, I'm not ready. Or they weren't ready. I was like, I need to come back to you. Okay, who's ready? I'm coming back to you though. And they knew that. I'm like,
Yep.
but they honestly, like, I'm still processing. You're going too fast. I
Yeah.
am not ready. Come back. So I love that. Okay, let's talk about ASCD Ghana. So I wanted to know. So one, I am going to talk about myself because I want to be on the planning committee for next year. I want to be there for next year. I need to come early because I wasn't able to get there early. I need to stay late. I need to stay about 6 months. I don't know who's in charge of that. I need to do a whole internship. So just let me know how I can be a part of it. But I would like for you to share because my audience, they hear me talk about it all the time. It was like one of the best experiences of my life. And I want you to share what you did, um, what you're planning to do. Because in order for us to get there, we know you've been reimagining education well before ASCD Ghana. And tell us, how did you reimagine while you were there as an ASCD, I want to say fellow, but it's not a fellow.
No, I am an ASCD faculty member.
Faculty member, how does
Yes.
that play into it? And then how did you turn that moment into momentum from ASCD?
Oh, wow. What an amazing question. Okay, so as an ASCD faculty member, and there's so many of us, but we support the mission of ASCD and supporting educators globally
Mhm.
with whatever their professional goals are. And you can reach out to ASCD for our professional services, whatever your desires are, and you can find that on the ASCD website. Um, and so, as ASCD faculty members, we did support ASCD Ghana in their International Educators Summit. There were several of us there, myself, Ann Cunningham Morris, um, and Shervita West,
Mhm.
and Opal Dawson, and Jill Harrison Berg, who
Yeah,
was essential in the planning
yeah.
of it. And you were there. It was absolutely amazing. It was so much more than a moment. It was an absolute movement with the vision of the executive director, Dr. Charles Yaboa, visionary that just created something that was absolutely life changing. And so for myself, I had the privilege of presenting two workshops. I co presented with Dr. Natalie Pugh,
Mhm.
one on college and career readiness, reimagining college and career readiness. And Dr. Pugh and I have a extreme focus on equitable instructional practices that will help to ensure college and career readiness for students. And so we wanted to make sure that we put that at the forefront when we are designing classrooms in preparation for students to
Mhm.
be equipped and ready to enter collegiate classrooms. Dr. Pugh is a college professor, and myself, having worked in K 12 environments. In addition, I was able to also um, provide leadership master classes for the instructional leaders who were also present. And one that I absolutely enjoyed working with the leaders on was the reset framework that is provided through ELLE education. And that's one of our signature frameworks, but it's teaching leaders about how they pivot.
Mhm.
Right. We all know when we are leaders, we lay these groundwork and we lay these plans with our teams, but they don't always happen the way that we lay them out. And so, how do we assess and evaluate when things are not going according to plan, and where we need to pivot? Where do we need to reset? And then, how do we go about assessing, collecting data, and determining how we pivot? Or do we need to abandon and rethink the plan itself? And so, reset is one of those things that we did share with the leaders there. It's one of those things that I am continuing to coach some leaders over in Ghana on while we are there, or continuing to coach some of the leaders from Ghana. And then also a master class as well on the instructional framework, the Danielson instructional framework. I have the opportunity to do that session with Craig Martin from the CCM Education Group. Craig and I are great friends, and we were able to bring that to the instructional leaders over there as well. And so when we talk about momentum, it's twofold. As leaders, we think about what we give, but, there was a lot that was gained, so much. And I think it was on a call that we had recently when we were talking about just a group of us got on. It was Dolores that pulled us all together just to kind of unpack, right? And Jill was the one who kind of framed it, right? Around this narrative. You think about you're going in, and we were brought in under this framework of this transformational opportunity over in Ghana. And not just about, we're coming in to, when you think transformation and just coming in and we're going to be these change agents and just turn something around, which is, all fine and dandy. But, not coming in with this framework of, us just being these masterminds and, heavy hands and really experts. This was very much a reciprocal opportunity here. We met educators who were brilliant educators. So as much as I prepared to leave on the table with, this wealth that I had gained and I had prepared, I walked away with a wealth from the resiliency that I encountered, from, I met leaders who were leading schools who by default, they might have 100 kids in their classrooms. Okay. And when you think about sitting in summer sessions and learning, taking the time to learn how to be a better leader, knowing that that's what you're facing in the next couple of weeks, but you're still working on becoming a better leader for the kids with that weight on your shoulders, right? And I'm thinking about how we know we don't have all of the technology and we don't have all of the tools, but I'm still here and I'm still learning how to do what I can, the best way that I can with what I have.
Yep.
And I'm sitting here with the best spirit about it. And guess what? When my students hit the door, they're going to have the best opportunity that they can have with exactly what we have. Yep. Right. And so we all left as better leaders after being a part of the International Educational Summit. Right. And so, when we're talking about movement and momentum, that energy was just so powerful and so significant. And as I am continuing to coach, the leaders that I'm working with now. You know, we've been back about a month and a half now, almost, about a month and a half.
Mm-hmm.
As I'm continuing to coach and I'm continuing to support leaders, and I've been moving around from state to state, and we've been doing like teacher growth and all these things, and I'm reminding them, right, y'all, I met amazing, because in my sessions we renamed ourselves based on our affirmations. Because as leaders, right, like if you don't cheer yourself on, don't count on anybody else to cheer you on, right? So, we're putting amazing's picture. I got a picture with amazing, right, y'all? This is amazing, right? And let me tell you about amazing school. Okay, so this is what we're dealing with in amazing school, right? And so we know if amazing can do all of this, and this is what amazing's got, guess what you can do for your kids?
Exactly.
Right? So let's move. Let's go. Because we got a lot we can do with what we have in front of us. So let's get it, right? So when we're talking about momentum, I don't even know if momentum is the right word, but we got a lot to move forward on, and it's good. It's great.
You said something important in that, and I totally 1,000,000 agree. Not that we, and I love how you say, you like, not that we walked in like, oh, we have something, to give. We did, but it wasn't like you have nothing, I have all of the things. It was, I have this. Now, tell me tell me about you. So, because I have this, and then I'm trying to figure out how we can navigate and use this effectively. And like you said, and if you're not ready, because I was doing technology.
Yeah.
So if we're not ready, how do you hold on to it? How do you get the little parts? Because I remember when they were laughing at me because they were like, "We don't have any computers." I said, "Well, didn't the minister of education just say?" I said, every Tuesday at 1:25, he will get an email from me, and it would say, "Hi." It would say the same thing. I would just change it up, and it was like, "Yeah, we're waiting on the computers, and if you want to do a photo op, we are ready." And you need to put the name of the school and put your number, put your cell phone number, put all the numbers on there. Every Tuesday.
Yep.
If you want to, you can go get a clip of him saying it. We're gonna not put it in there. And the lady, she looked at me, she said, "But I said every Tuesday." I said, because you need computers, right? And one of the guys, he was like, they're only looking at certain schools, but did you tell them you needed a computer?
Mm-hmm.
Because what I've learned in America is that yes, they focus on Title I schools. Yep. And then they're focused on these high achieving schools. And then if I'm working at a BC school, nobody focuses on us. I said, but they don't think about us. So I have to put us on the radar.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, we over here.
That's right.
And we need, I just need 10 computers to start with. We need the computers, we need the chargers, and we need the Wi-Fi.
And I have learned a new kind of resiliency.
Mm-hmm.
I have. I haven't quite formulated how I want to define it, right, and put it into words. But I've learned a new kind of resiliency after that experience. I have.
I also say I learned I learned to incorporate more hospitality into my service. I don't know if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
the hospitality of the service industry, we're in the service industry, education is a service industry,
Absolutely.
impacted me a lot and reminded me that I need to pause and listen and then proceed.
Yeah.
Because the way I function, I'm like, let's get it, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's do it, let's go, let's go. And then this at ASCB Ghana, I was able to say, wait a minute. Repeat that again to me.
Mm-hmm.
And hold on. I said, so what you're saying? Mm-hmm. Okay, let me go forward. And then, okay, this is how we're gonna do it. And they were laughing at me. The guy, he said, what are you doing? He said, when you do like this? I said, I'm thinking. I said, my mom did that. I don't know. Probably telling me to be quiet. It was like, I said, she probably was like, doesn't matter. Process it. And then I have an answer. I'm like ready to go. So thank you for sharing that. And then I want everybody to be Educators, it is important for us to educate ourselves. We cannot wait on the school district. We cannot wait on our former college, university, our former program. If you did a different program to become an educator, you have to constantly become educated in the things of education. ASCD, ISTE, LMNOP, JKL, all of the people, easy to Google, easy to find, easy to get to a conference. You
Yeah,
know, there's a lot of conferences next year in July. You start saving your coins now.
that's right. July 18th through the 20th.
I'm already starting saving my coins. I'm trying to make sure I don't have a child graduating. My sister has one more child graduate. I think he graduates high school in June. We are out. I don't know if my sister's gonna come again. She probably will. I'm staying a little longer. So whoever I'm working for next year, if I'm not working for myself, I'm not gonna be back in time. Because I'm finna stay because and the reason I'm gonna stay is because as an educator and as a consultant, I love to I visit. I need to go visit. I need to
Yeah,
spend a day or two. I need to, and before I give you anything, I need to literally be there observing. I don't even need a pen or paper. Like I got this. Like I just need to hear and listen and see in different schools. So there are certain people I'm still, like you said, still communicating with, and those are the schools I'm targeting. And it's so funny because they're rural schools because I'm from rural, so they're like these rural schools, and they're like, you need to come. And I was like, well, I'm coming to stay. Like, you have to stay with a family. I'm gonna just suck it up, buttercup, and figure it out. And stay with the family for 2 or 3 days. We're gonna figure it out, and then because I need to pay attention to what needs to be done. And I told him, I said, then we have connections now. We now have connections.
don't we though?
So now we're going to come back, and as a collective force, we're going to say, okay, how do you, how do we help this rural area first,
Hmm.
and then how do we go here? We can't do everybody, but how do we get these 4 schools
Well, and if we're going to be coming back every year, that's just collective impact every time
every
we
time?
go.
Because I'm even talking, like I was talking to the young people that were volunteering. I was like, they said, what are you doing? And what are you doing? And they're like, oh, we're going to go to the States for graduate school. I'm like, where are you going? And it was just such. And I said, okay, so you need to be on. And I was like, you need to be on the Common Black app. You need to be on this. And they were like, what? I said, oh no, because you should not be paying for graduate school according to like the degree, biochemical. So I don't even know what you just said, but I know it's some money out there. And the young lady, she started laughing. I said, but I don't know what you would do. I know what you're going to do is important. And it was like astronaut. I said, it sounds like you're going to work at NASA. So what I need, or come back to your country and develop something, we need some money. So you have to have money in America. Let's get it. And so that was important. Thank you for sharing. Anyone who we'll put it in our show notes, you guys. And as soon as if you follow Dr. Garrett, as soon as she knows, I know she's already going to put it out there. ASCD will put it out there. This is when the summit is in Ghana, but don't neglect the summits here in the U.S. Don't neglect the conferences here in the U.S.
No,
I was able to.
absolutely. ASCD has their leadership summit coming up in Nashville, Tennessee. And so,
I was trying to
um,
get there.
yeah, it's October 18th through 20th. And so, especially for school leaders, teacher leaders, that'll be a great opportunity. I'll be there. I'll be doing a leadership talk and be doing Empower Ed. We'll be doing a women's leadership journey
I
while
just
we're
got my invite. Let me look at you.
absolutely. And as a matter of fact, I think we have a discount going on till the 31st.
Yes, send me that because I'm in Memphis. It's a drive over.
Oh, that's right. It's only about 3 hours.
Yes, that's nothing.
Yes, we have to do a lunch chat.
Yes, that's
Yes, so
nothing.
I'll be
Give 'em my
doing
best
a
friend.
turbo talk. Yes,
Yes.
I'll have a turbo talk on the 18th, and I'll do a women's leadership session on the 19th. We'll talk about our leadership journey and we'll explore choice and freedom
Yes.
during that 90-minute session. I'm excited for that one. I am. We're gonna come up with our choices and our freedom plan um, during that. So I'm inviting all women leaders. I know.
Beyonce has a whole song about freedom.
Oh, we gotta have a plan. We gotta have a plan.
I need to be in the room, in the space, in the place. I'm gonna look at my calendar and rearrange some things.
Yes, sis.
Be there because I was trying to get there, but then I didn't know you were gonna be there. Y'all was gonna be there, so let me make sure I get there. Okay.
Yes, awesome. And we have, and then and then in July, the International Educator Summit is happening again, July 18th through the 20th.
I love it. And
then the co-located summit is in June of next year in San Antonio, ASCD ISTE. The co-located summit.
That's right, because now they're joined.
Yes, now it is joint. It's June. I want to say it's June 26th. That weekend, I think.
Okay, so I definitely need to look at that to make sure. I think my nephew graduates a little earlier in June.
Yes, I don't have the dates.
Make sure he graduates. I'm there for that, and then I can roll out. Okay, thank you. So look, we're gonna go to the fun segment because we've been talking deep and heavy and all of the things. We have. So this is the fun segment. Let me get my little banner together. Did I do a banner? Here we go. It is called Concierge Crossroads. You can get with this or you can get with that. Okay, let me stop before they sue us. We don't have no money up here. So, because it's cease and desist. Is that it? Yeah. Okay, I'm going to do a quick fire. You do. So, I try to tell my guests that you should pick this or that. Sometimes my guests be like, both. I'm like, that is not how you play this. But do the best you can.
Okay, I'm going to do my best.
To get to know you personally and about your profession. So here we go. Okay. Traditional classrooms or virtual learning environments?
I'm still a traditional classroom girl. I love connecting with my babies.
Individual projects or collaborative group work?
Oh, I'm an introvert. I can do it individually. Look, we'll talk at the end.
All right, standardized testing or project-based assessment?
Oh, project-based. Look, I'm a creative.
You are.
Yeah.
All right. Technology-driven instruction or hands-on?
Hands-on.
Creative.
I love something.
I love that. Yes, I need that. Creative arts integration or STEM focused?
Creative art.
Are you a morning person or night owl?
I'm a night owl. I am not a morning person.
Like it's noon, and I'm like, dang it, I should have gotten up early and gone to the store.
Oh no, it's like 7 o'clock, and I'm like, I'm still not getting up. It's 8, and I was like, I'm still not getting up.
I was up at 6 o'clock.
Like I will be up and still not getting up. Like it's a protest.
I love it though.
As long as it's an in the bed protest. Right.
And I'm like, let me get up. Okay, got you. So I know a night owl. Audio books or podcast?
Podcast.
Flexible
We're gonna talk about
it. Yeah. Flexible scheduling or fixed timetable?
Oh, flexible scheduling.
Last two, ebooks or real book?
Real book.
And in-person workshop or online webinars?
Oh, in person.
In person.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yes.
Thank you for playing this or that.
Oh, I love it. That was my first this or that.
You really? Oh, I loved it. And I was trying to keep it like a little bit personal, but a lot of bit professional. You're so funny. So y'all, I always tell y'all that the pregame is better than the real show. And I don't record the pregame. I think I need to start recording, but maybe I need to do like a paid version so you can hear our pregame. Our pregame today was like so random, but so needed. And I just wanted to tell y'all that I have a new friend over here who I can call and talk to. And send her a text and be like, girl. And she'll know what I'm talking about without any details. Like, girl. All right, so this is the part where we get ready to wrap up. We do a couple of things before we wrap up. One, if you are a member of an HBCU or a D9, or you went to a PWI and you want to shout them out, this is the space we give you to do that.
I get to shout out my HBCU?
Yes. Oh, girl, definitely.
All right. Aggie Pride.
I do it. So Those of you who don't know. So first of all, the kids call it NCAT.
No.
That's the new generation. I
This
thought my niece was telling me
this
she
is
needs to
the,
be another
yes,
test.
this is and when I have had to say something to my younger cousins who have been NCATting. Yes, this is the North Carolina Agricultural and Technical State University. We are not NCATting. This is the North Carolina Agricultural and Technical State University. Yes, we are on our, in my family, we just graduated our 15th Aggie. Yes, and
Yes.
we have two more that are there. Hopefully we are sending two more next year.
HBCU. Let me tell y'all something. Do not come for us, okay? Because we
Do
didn't send for
not.
you. And let me say this, and I have to put this caveat out there because I went to Hampton University. Um, I have about look me, 3, 4, 15 friends who went to ASC. And I will say we snuck away one year and came to your homecoming. And I will say it's in the top 2 of homecomings. And I say the top 2 because let me tell you something. St. Paul's College is the college, the HBCU I grew up with, and so their
Mhm.
homecoming will always be number 1 because that's the first time that's the only homecoming I knew
And,
from.
and we will allow you to be sentimental
That's my mental part.
on your podcast.
Yes, but if you've never been to A&T's homecoming and you are under the age of 50, I'm sorry, and there's still time.
It is a must experience.
And
I will not be able to experience it this year because I will be at
it's
the
okay.
leadership conference.
Yes, I'm missing a lot of things this year. And then we have great friends. I think they're on their 5th generation also at A&T.
Yes.
Their father started it, and girl, he was in the band. So you already know. And then my friend whose son is now, I think, the 5th generation, she was the A&T cheerleader.
Oh, I
And
love it.
we love HBCU pride. We love HBCU legacy. But more than that, we love D9. So shout out your
I
D9.
need to give it. See,
Love it.
I got to get in the camera.
Camera, let me focus it. Get it. There you
Oh,
go. And then you have to say the whole thing. You have to say your line name. Do you have a line name?
oh yes, I
Where
am
you
Z
from?
chosen one, number 3, spring 2000. Yes, yes, yes.
So she is legit. Y'all don't come for me.
Zeta Alpha chapter.
Love it. And
Yes.
for those of you listening, they did not have a little party.
You said what?
Okay, they didn't have a little party.
Oh,
They were about the business of their sorority, which is also the business of
oh, this
every
year,
night.
absolutely.
Okay. And so for those of you who are like, we've never heard of them, you lie. We've been in the community since 1900s. Okay. We've been in the
Absolutely.
community. We are about the community. We are about all the things of mankind for all D9. So don't come for us because you're gonna get put in your place really quick, as the person who said that they were at a party did. And no, thank you. And I'll say this real quick. Because somebody said something the other day, and I was like, that's not funny. If you didn't go to an HBCU and you're not a member of the D9, you can't make jokes. We make our own internal jokes, and they're for us. And then the rest of you, you're just observing. You don't get to be a part of it. So that's what she said. Okay, I can give you that sentimental. I knew exactly what she meant, and I wasn't offended. We can joke with each other. You don't. Okay, you just watch and observe. Somebody tried to jump in, and all of us turned around like, "What you? No, stay over there." Thank you for attending. Thank you so much. So
You're
this is how
welcome.
we end the program, our podcast. I grew up going to Little Shallow Baptist Church on Otterdam Road in Emporia, Virginia. Shout out to Southside VA.
Oh,
We had a guest pastor, that's you, Dr. Garrett. I am the head pastor, that's me as the host. And we have opened up the doors of the church. And when we open up the doors of the church, we are not worried about your denomination, whether you know the Lord or you don't know the Lord. What we are concerned about is how you leave us feeling as we walk out the doors of the church because you are our guest pastor. So this is the part where you leave us and you give us a call to action or you give us some encouraging words so that we can depart from this podcast ready to
oh,
reimagine, disrupt, and dismantle education.
Oh, well, in the spirit of the beginning of the school year, let me just leave you with one greeting that I leave with all of um, the educators I have the opportunity to present to, be it workshops or in passing when we have an opportunity to come together. And that's a Zulu greeting that says Sawubona. It was shared with me several years ago, and it means I see you.
Mm.
Yeah, it means I see you, Sawubona. And I see you. I see you working hard. I see your heart. I see your preparation. And I want you to see, I want you to know that I see that you are enough. I want you to know that your parents and your students will see you too. So I want you to get ready for Monday morning, knowing that you are enough. Knowing that you are covered, knowing that you have been prayed for, and knowing that you are prepared for this very moment. And knowing that it will be well. And I do see you. And be encouraged as the 24-25 school year begins. And have a great year.
Oh my God, I don't know why I'm tearing up. But, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of the TEC family, the Education Concierge family, thank you, Dr. Garrett, for joining us. I am your host, Benita G. I'll see y'all next time.
All right.
Hang tight 1 second and make sure it saves our recording. I literally was tearing up. I was like,